communication issues, hurt us, and defensively didn't play well in the early part of the game after the first series, but then got our footing and did some good things on the back end of it. All in all, just critical plays, critical opportunities. When you're on the plus side of the 50, we didn't win any of those, and that's a credit to them, and some things that obviously we got to be better at too.
Questions? We'll start with David.
Josh, can you just talk about the impact that 75-yard punt in the first half had? And just
end of the day, we first run gains up positive yards. You're backed up, and then second down we don't get anything out of it. Sack, obviously, changes the way the game's played and momentum swing, and it was a big play in the football game, obviously, but in this game, you're going to have to reset, you're going to have to come back, you're going to have to make plays, and at the end of the day, we didn't do enough things early in the football game to be able to apply any type of pressure to them.
Joe Westroad and then Austin Price.
Josh, did Georgia do anything defensively that you didn't anticipate, and was Hendon confused at times by certain looks they were giving you guys?
No, there was some things that showed up from their tape that appeared more often. We had anticipated seeing a bunch of different looks from them throughout the course of the football game. Protectionally, there in the third quarter, there was a couple of things that we didn't communicate very well. I didn't think all in all we handled the noise very well. That's false starts, it's being in sync communication up front. At the end of the day, that hurt us, certainly early in the football game, and then at times throughout the course of it.
Josh, there were times where it did have times there just wasn't anybody open. Did you feel like that was the case, or did you feel like him just held on to it a little too long time, didn't throw anybody open?
I thought, there's when it looked the way that it did tonight, at times where you're struggling and not efficient, not playing ahead. There's times the guys were winning. We came off it too early. There were times that we didn't win. There were protection issues, miscommunication. So you put a little bit of any of those things together, and you're not efficient, not able to play ahead, not able to play with any tempo, and again, that's part of us, but it's part of them too.
Patrick Denier.
Coach, I think you guys only have maybe one pass play, 20 yards, with big guys. You guys have been so good on big plays. Are they sitting two safeties, or they just running outside? Why were they able to keep you guys?
At certain points they were able to play two high safeties, certainly in their structure. There were opportunities that we had down the football field too. And tonight we did connect early with Jalen down the middle of the football field. And certainly opportunities throughout the course of it over the middle of the field, and then late in the football game too down the sideline. So, there's a lot of things that we'll look back on that we have to be better in when you're going to play a good football team like this.
Josh, you said you had to handle the noise better. That was as loud as I've ever been anywhere. Is that something you can't do until you've experienced it? What do you do?
There's things that we have done to handle it and to be way more efficient than we were tonight. There's things that we'll learn from tonight, but as a program, you got to understand what you're getting yourself into, and the atmosphere and the energy and the focus that you're going to get from everybody. Not just their program, but from the fans too. And you heard me say it early. The emotional part of the football game had to be able to settle into it early in the game. We did not do that in a positive way, and it's an opportunity for us to learn. We'll be better. We can be a whole lot better. We've handled it at times really well. Our guys will be right when they get back in the building. We'll get better.
Wes, then Adam.
Josh, in terms of at halftime there, so many things just didn't go right there, but y'all done enough to hang in there. What was the message at halftime? Was it kind of like, all right, that was a pretty good punch, let's come back, or what was the message?
We talked all week long. It starts fast, great. If it doesn't, that's all right too. No matter how it starts, you got to continue to compete. The ability to refocus, reset, and come out and go play the next half. Offensively had the football. We needed to go do something with it. Defensively, get a couple stops and try to close the gap and make it a tight football game at the end. And weren't able to do enough of that.
Far left.
Obviously, your goals are still ahead in terms of.
Well, getting to Atlanta is a whole lot tougher now, right? Certainly. That's the number one goal inside of our program.
At the same time, you mentioned we've learned from this. What do you think it's going to take to kind of bounce back and be able to handle it adversity right away?
Yeah, our kids have handled a bunch of adversity throughout their careers inside of this program. You know, they've continued to fight and scratch and claw and be connected, come together. There's no doubt in my mind when we get back in the building on Monday that they'll continue to do that. You know, that's how we got to the point of making this a big football game. We got to go reset and continue to grow individually and collectively as a program. Everybody's got a hand in this, starting with me, our staff, and our players, and learn and grow and continue to climb as a program.
Adam Dennis.
On that note, there were mistakes tonight we hadn't seen the guys make all year. Are you convinced that those mistakes only happen against this team in this setting? Because we hadn't seen them this year.
They can happen at any time if you're not invested, you know, prepared. You're not in control of your emotions, and you're playing, you know, your best brand of football. It certainly reared its head tonight early in the football game for sure, and that time throughout the course of it. These guys are resilient. These guys are competitors. These guys have a great amount of pride. You know, we'll reset, and we got to this point by focusing on one game at a time. And you know, for us, I hate the way that this one turned out for sure. Everybody hurts inside of that locker room. We got to reset and get back to work on Monday.
Josh, what does this say about their program right now? They can do this using 15 draft choices, 5 guys in the first round?
Yeah, sure. They got, you know, I mean, they've been recruiting at a really high level for a really long time. Next man's up for them. You know, they're a deep football team for sure.
Austin.
Message to the team after the game and talk about getting back in there. I mean, is this one of those things where you just, you know, can't wait to get to the next Saturday and just kind of wash it?
Well, I'll be real about what happened tonight, you know what I mean, and the energy and you know, the type of environment and competitive arena that you're in. You know, as a program on the road, right, like we got to grow and be able to handle that in a much better way than we did tonight. And it's not that our guys didn't prepare well, but just, you know, being within ourselves in the early part of the game in particular to change the way the game plays and learn from that, understand what that's going to be like here as we continue to grow as a program and have more of these opportunities to play in these types of ball games. Be real about, you know, what we all need to do better, coaches and players. At the same time, understand we're a good football team, and you know, it did happen tonight on this 60-minute clock. That's the great thing about sports is you only get one opportunity, man, and you know, reset and let's come back to work.
Patrick.
Coach, you said the team didn't settle. You talked all season about how the team has been resilient. They just keep playing. What did you see from them on the sideline? Did you see them?
They didn't stop. They didn't stop playing. They didn't stop competing. You know, we didn't do the things. You know, I mean, we got the ball on the plus side of the territory, and inevitably something goes wrong. It's not all 11 at one time. You know what I mean? It's one guy, and you can't do that against a good football team. And we did not play our cleanest, best football. Part of that's a really good football team too. You know, but there's things that we can control and be a whole lot better at too. And at the end of the day, you know, I hate the outcome. Everybody in our program does. We got to reset and continue to go fight.
Just in terms of the demeanor, I mean, on the sideline, do you see any different just throughout the course of the game?
In the early part of the game, were we the best version of us? No, we weren't. That's why you see the things that happen early in the football game happen. You know what I mean? False starts out on the perimeter, right? And miscommunication up front, protections, false starts up front. Like, you can't do that against a really good football team, right? You just can't do that. And you know, so we changed the way the game was played in a negative way early. And we did that in all 3 phases, you know what I mean? So.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
We'll have